She said kinda love affair.
Is love in the air, or is your relationship on the verge of destruction? Let's talk about it. Sit back,
Relax.
and enjoy your favorite cocktail as we discuss relationships, dating,
Sex.
and love. Love on the rocks, that is.
Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks.
All right, guys, and welcome to Love on the Rocks. I am Roger the Wild Child, and Megan is out sick today, but with me, I've got Crystal, Lydia, and of course, Drew.
Man, I'm the only one that didn't put their IG handle.
You
Flapping.
suck. Here,
That
wait a
exit
second.
and come back in.
Hey, someone plug Lydia Manson's IG handle. What is it? What is it, Lydia?
Lydia
What is
Manson,
it?
88.
What is it?
Lydia Manson, 88.
Lydia.
All right,
that's
there you go.
Easy to remember.
Easy
is that
to
the year,
remember.
Is that the year you were born?
It was. Well, it is.
Ah.
Imagine that. You should have done 89, just totally threw everybody off.
No, because I would have thrown myself off. I would have just started to believe that I'm so close to the border of 89 though, because I'm December 15th.
Oh,
okay.
that's 89.
Yeah.
So,
That's
you
89.
Mm-hmm.
But 88 sounds better.
You know, I graduated high school in 89.
I wasn't a thought in the world in 89.
I'm going to say that I wasn't born yet, but that would be a lie.
Okay.
My mom was in middle school in 89.
Interesting. She was like, I was 4 years old.
That is 4.
My mom had no plans to have me in 89.
Gotcha. And then what happened?
Well, I was obviously, unfortunately.
Were you an accident? Drew?
No, actually, I'm the only child my mom had on purpose. So here's the story. This is a little sad. This is a little
Okay.
sad story.
Sad
My
story?
mom,
Okay.
yeah, my mom got pregnant when she was 19, and the baby was born early, lived a day, and then died.
Oh, that is
Oh.
rough. Yeah.
Yeah, her name was Riley Grace, and so she had me because she needed to be a mom. Like she was ready to be a mom. She had committed to being a mom. So I'm the only baby she actually intended to have. And my little sister, she tried to say that she was on purpose, and I had to remind her that my mom hated her dad and definitely didn't want to have another kid with him. And then you just showed up.
Oh my God, it is like the worst Big Brother thing to do ever. True.
Right.
I'm claiming my spot as the only one that she wanted.
You're going to give your little sister her trauma.
Yeah, you are.
You know, we all need a little
Trauma
trauma.
just from him being a brother.
We all need
Right.
trauma. Trauma makes us better. Okay.
Right.
Well, I don't know, because trauma brings you our subject of the day.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very
little,
good
That was a good
segue.
little slide right there.
Decoding codependency, the disease to please, is our topic today, everyone. So, welcome to Love on the Rocks. I have to say this is totally off topic, but I had to bring this up because it's totally like the weirdest stuff. It's funny if you think about it, but depending who you're a teacher, so you know, Crystal, so you probably have an opinion on this. You may not want to speak of it, but that's okay. Have you noticed that all these teachers are popping up now saying that
OnlyFans.
they're on OnlyFans?
OnlyFans teachers. They're getting
Well,
fired for it.
despite the fact that I never wanted to air that little bit of information, am I surprised? I don't know, because I've heard that particular site hosts more than just
It does.
adult content.
Yeah, but also teachers aren't paid enough. So if they're like
Mhm.
an
I mean,
attractive young teacher,
read-
But I
that
think
you
people
say
get
that.
the stigma that because you have an OnlyFans page, it means you're producing that adult only content, which is not always the case. I don't have one, and I no shame to anybody that does. But a few people had told me to start one for my cosplays.
Oh,
They
you'd
wouldn't
probably
be-
make some money doing
you
that.
know,
Yeah,
so,
you would.
but I wouldn't be doing any adult content. I would just be doing my different characters that I play. But if I said, "Oh, hey, this is my OnlyFans," people would immediately be thinking, "Oh, I'm going to see your boobs," and you'd be wrong.
What makes this interesting is who did the research to catch these teachers?
Oh, that principal's a perv. He found her.
But I've also heard it's also like nurses, because I was watching a video of this one nurse who she actually got fired for it, and she's suing them.
Really?
Yeah, for wrongful termination. Because the other nurses that were on duty at the time, they were looking up her OnlyFans and talking about it on shift, and then they were aware of it and they fired her because it was too much of a distraction for everyone. And she was like, "Well, they're on my page. Like, why aren't you like reprimanding them
That's
for
some like
using
mean girl
company
stuff.
time?"
Yeah.
That's essentially what it came down to. And she did say that a lot of the other nurses on duty were basically just like bullying her.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I used to promote my friend's OnlyFans because I was from a region that's not Houston. And so she wasn't comfortable with people she knew looking at her OnlyFans. So I was like, listen, I got like a plethora of lonely ass dudes that I know that don't know you, and I can promote your OnlyFans. And so I got like a percentage of her like intake from OnlyFans. There's a bunch of lonely dudes in Iowa.
The Iowa boy, Mr. Cornfield himself.
Cornstalk.
So, yeah, so I thought that was all quite interesting when I saw that, and then another one pops up today in the
I mean,
news.
I'm not
and I'm
surprised.
like, back in the day when we were in school and they didn't have OnlyFans, your teachers were
Back
working
when
the
you were in
local
school, they
strip
didn't even
club
have the
that
internet,
night.
Roger.
What?
Yeah, we just established the internet wasn't even a thing when you were
The
in high
internet didn't
school.
exist when you were in school.
So yeah, so the teachers were actually working the strip club. They weren't working OnlyFans. That's what it was back in the day.
Yeah, and then nobody would out them because it meant that they were there.
Yep.
Just guilty.
Exactly.
But no, here's the thing: like, if I have to make an official statement on it, per Roger, like. Teachers are human, and we have to stop treating them like they're not, and we have to start paying them what they're worth. Period. The end.
It's the end of
a
the
societal
story.
problem.
You know what? They spend 7-8 hours a day with our kids, and we're paying them crap.
And that's not counting the hours outside of the time that they spend teaching kids
and
prepping,
buying supplies
planning.
out of their own money for their classroom.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Thousands.
And so yeah.
And we don't get to write it off on our taxes either, like everybody thinks.
Well,
really?
You're allowed $250, which is not much when you're spending $2,000.
That's like 500 packs of crayons.
So for all those teachers that are out there doing OnlyFans, go for it. If the school can't pay you, then go make your money. Do your hustle.
Don't do just normal crayons, Lydia.
I was just thinking of the 50 cent, like 24 pack of Crayolas, like for the back to school sales. I always stock up. But I can't draw for shit. So
you can't draw.
Yes, you can.
I can draw a stick figure like nobody's business. And that's about it.
You could if you practiced.
I actually do have a painting of Marilyn Monroe that I did in high school that I'm really proud of. In storage, but yeah, I was always really proud
Why
of
is it
that
in
one.
storage?
Because I have all my paintings are in storage because nobody needs to see that.
We need to see that.
If I go out
next
to my
episode, Lydia's high school paintings.
If I go out to my barn and get them, maybe.
Hey,
It's Megan.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, you.
Hey,
She's here.
I'm here.
I think
The
I think it's
party has finally launched.
You can go rest.
no,
Like we
I'm okay.
understand.
It's okay.
I think it's about damn time that we start talking about codependency.
I think so. That's our topic for tonight. It's our topic of discussion. It's called Decoding Codependency, the Disease to Please. So I'm going to turn this over to our little stats girl, Crystal.
All right. So when we're talking codependency, a couple of things. It's not just about romantic relationships. Okay. The other thing is that this is not me saying this. Okay. This is the research. So, codependency has become commonly associated with women's stereotypical caretaking role. And the question of whether codependent behavior is typical of all women has been raised. In other words, the concept of codependency and what they use to screen, and by they, I mean doctors and professionals, as they say, where is it at? Okay, so it doesn't differentiate between normal, healthy caregiving role of women and pathological extreme focus on relationships. So the screening mechanisms are sexist.
Mhm.
So there's that. And there's not a whole lot of numbers on this, more so like definitions and understandings, and how it relates to other, we'll say like illnesses, mental illnesses. But it's estimated that approximately 90% of Americans are in codependent relationships.
And that's basically depending on the other person to be able to
function,
live day to day.
Not necessarily. It's more so when like their identity gets wrapped up in this other person. So like that's like saying, oh well, children are codependent and have a codependent mental illness. That's not the case. Children are codependent because they're children, and that's where that whole caregiving role really isn't taken into consideration when we're talking about the screeners for codependency. A lot of the research that I was looking at looked at two specific screeners. One was called the Span-Fisher Codependency Scale, and the other is the Potter-Efron. I did not make that up. That is the real one, Potter-Efron Codependency Assessment. And they completely ignore women's caregiving roles. So essentially, like women get pegged as being codependent a whole lot more, or they present it as being more codependent because of the stereotypical caregiving roles that they are expected to partake in day-to-day life that men are not. So there you go. I mean, there's a whole lot more on it, but just throwing that out there. And codependency isn't just being dependent on somebody like financially or for like a living situation. It's where you start to lose your identity because your identity is wrapped up in the other person, and you're
not who you are anymore.
Right.
And it happens a lot in like marriages and relationships. You're with somebody and you're not who you are. And once you in my case, once I got divorced, I was able to do the things that I wanted to do again, and I get that. I mean, I was able to do all this whole broadcasting stuff and podcasting, and it's something I was passionate about, but I wasn't able to do that when I was, married, I mean, just, things just change. Because you're right. You live for somebody else. You try to make them happy. And you forget who you are in the process.
I mean, it's totally natural and normal to pick up things from your partner's interest to start taking an interest in that too. Like you should. It is normal and healthy to take an interest in your significant other's interests. It's just that when it becomes an extreme focus and basically envelops your life, it's also seen as altruistic, I guess. So with
Can we
a
get
really
a definition on that, please?
Yeah.
'Cause I have no idea what that means.
Unselfishness, selflessness, it comes off that way. So oftentimes people who are codependent or have a codependency issue are often children that have experienced trauma that didn't have their emotional needs met, or their emotional needs were neglected, or grew up with somebody who had experienced substance abuse, or are with somebody who is experiencing substance abuse, because oftentimes like that takes over the relationship. Now that's not always the case, but it is oftentimes, more often than not, seen in codependent behaviors or personalities. Sorry.
Drew, your take on this?
My take on codependency. I've seen a lot of people in like where exactly they're somebody, and then they get in a relationship and they just kind of disappear off the map. A good casual example of this is couples who have dual Facebooks, or like like a shared Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, the man has lost all the power in their relationship when they have a shared Facebook account with their wife.
that's not about power. Relationships
there's no
aren't
individuality. There's no
Right.
individuality, and she's the only one posting.
or somebody lost somebody else's trust.
Mm-hmm.
I
Whenever
think everybody.
I see a joint Facebook account, I always think somebody cheated.
Yeah, in
That's
most
probably how they all
cases, it's
started.
probably true. Yeah, but I think that like everyone needs to be their own person. Like, I need to be able to go do my thing, and she needs to be able to go do her thing. We can't
For
just be
sure.
like, we're people still. We
Mhm.
can't just
Yeah.
combine into a blob of, person.
A blob of person.
A blob of person. Yeah.
I
It's
did,
like-
though, at one point find myself questioning like who I was after a long-term relationship. Actually, it was like after my marriage. I was like, okay, like who am I? What do I like? Like, what are my interests? I lost a lot of them because it wasn't about what I wanted to do. It was about what he wanted to do and what his interests were, because that's what took precedence. So a lot of people who may think that they are codependent may in fact just be in a relationship with a narcissist. So
What's
there's
the
that
definition of a narcissist?
Yes. Stats
Seriously,
girl.
guys. Okay, let's give you the official one, because this one's actually tricky. Okay, and I don't want to screw up these words.
I think people throw narcissist around
Mm-hmm.
like willy-nilly,
They-
like
do.
Yeah, that
So-
guy, this guy I dated is such a narcissist. Like, it's like they use the word so freely, but they don't understand what it really means.
Yeah,
But
you're
it
an
makes them
elitist.
feel better to call somebody a narcissist when they really don't understand what the concept really is all about.
So everybody has narcissistic tendencies, but when it becomes a
I think I'm
personality,
amazing.
when it becomes a personality disorder, is when it becomes concerning. So like when it actually affects a whole life, and it's usually somebody else's before it's the narcissists. But narcissist definition is just a person who has an excessive interest in or admiration of themselves. So oftentimes they are the center of their own universe. But it's about their
Definition
ego.
of Drew.
Right now, the center of my universe
tender.
is this Popeyes right now.
But like,
Wait, hold on. On
And
that
I'm
note,
joking, by the way, Drew. I'm joking.
my
Don't
roommate
choke
has
on the
said
chicken. Is
in
that
my
the first time you heard that?
a different word was used.
Your roommate.
Yeah, my roommate said that actually one of my biggest issues is that I'm never the center of my own universe. Is that it's always somebody else that's like what my focus is.
that might not be a good thing.
Probably not. But
I
I
mean-
got Popeyes today, and I did that for me.
And you're happy.
Yeah.
There you go. But like, so my biggest clue that like I'm starting to lose myself in who I am is if I stop doing things like painting or making art, like things that
Right.
I would normally do that bring me joy, and instead would like fill them with this other person. So like,
Mm-hmm.
I can start to look at my art production as one way of indicating like what type of relationships I have. But narcissists or people with narcissistic personality disorder often go after, or just really enjoy the company of codependence, because codependency kind of feeds narcissism, if that makes sense. So the codependent's like, it's all about them, and the
And that
narcissist is like, it's all
Feeds
about
the
me.
narcissist, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
It's like an
vicious
it's like an
cycle.
ego boost. It's like an ego boost.
Yes, it is a total ego boost for the narcissist. And then the codependent feels like they're serving their purpose and they are selflessly like giving themselves to their partner. And it actually is a cycle that makes the codependent worse.
And how do you break that?
So that's a good question.
Crystal is still trying to figure that one out.
Well, there is research on it. We didn't get to that part of it. So a lot of the research, a lot of the good, I shouldn't say good, but a lot of the research that is published and easy to access and obviously a trustworthy source. A lot of the published papers were all done in the late 90s. Not a whole lot of recent stuff is out there. At least it was easy to find that I didn't have to pay to get. So I think that there's a lot more research that needs to be done there, especially because codependency itself needs to be redefined. Because like I said, the screeners that they use to determine codependency, the two main ones they'll admit are blatantly, but they're sexist.
Yeah.
So a lot of women will score higher as being codependent, whereas men won't, and they could be.
Lydia, you agree on this?
So I told you before you were going to laugh when I was going to talk about what I wanted to talk about on this subject.
Okay.
And when it was originally brought up and I saw the word enabler, I immediately thought of the show, My 600-Pound Life. But every one of those people is being enabled by the people around them. Because a lot of these people can't get up and grocery shop for themselves. They can't cook their food. They can't do all these things. They have people that are enabling them, even though they know it's killing them, they're still doing it. And a lot of times you see that the relationships, they end up falling apart when the person starts losing weight and is able to do things on their own. And the male or female, I will say on the show, I see it more that the men leave when the women start to be able to do things on their own. But yeah, that's the first thing I thought of, because I'm like, it doesn't always have to be about, like an actual relationship, like marriage or whatever you want to say, because a lot of these people are being enabled by, their siblings,
family members,
their parents, so that was what I thought of.
I mean,
On that note,
go ahead.
On that note, childhood is more often the source of codependent personality disorder than anything else. So if a child grows up in a family where their feelings are neglected or punished, the emotional neglect leads to low self-esteem, shame, and it's caused by a stressful family background. So, how they say like everything in your adult relationships is determined in your childhood. This is one of those cases.
So Britney Spears, for example.
Oh my God, I read it in one day.
Yes.
Oh, don't I stop.
I was hoping somebody would bring it up.
I mean, that's a codependent relationship right there.
Mm-hmm.
That she was sort of forced into.
Yeah. She was absolutely forced into. But yeah, so like a codependent relationship doesn't have to be a romantic relationship.
Right.
A lot of times it could be a familial relationship where, like, let's say there's somebody in the family with substance abuse, and then there's one person that takes over that caretaker role, and it's always like, oh, well, so-and-so, I got to take care of them, and we got to keep this away from so-and-so. Like their world starts revolving around this familial issue, or
like I can't go to that gathering because I have to get home and take care of.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny because I just started rewatching Shameless, so I've been binging that. And
never seen that show. I probably should.
You should. It's on Netflix, but Fiona, the oldest sibling of the six, she had to take on that parent role because both of her parents were narcissists. And, so she took care of all her siblings. And then as the show goes on, you see that as the kids get older, they don't need her as much. And in the episode I literally just watched today, she was like, nobody needs me anymore. So she doesn't know what to do because she's always been that person that has been taking care of everybody in her household. And now it's okay. Well, what does Fiona do?
Right.
That's a very good example of codependent personality trait disorder, whatever you want to call it. Because like it's not just a romantic relationship; it could be familial, but oftentimes eldest daughters get shoved into that codependent role because they're often expected to parent. And like that becomes their role in the family. And especially if then one of their parents is more absent, or both of their parents are more absent, then throw in the narcissist thing, which narcissists love codependents. They also love empaths.
Like I remember being a kid because like my mom was a single mom and there was 3 of us. My brother's a year and a half older. My sister is a year and a half younger. My mom was working like 2 jobs just to support us. So we were, we're latchkey kids. But like I remember being like 10 or 11 years old and making Thanksgiving dinner because my mom was at work. Like that is my memories of my childhood.
Right.
Do you feel like you've ever had a codependent type relationship?
I feel like I need to please people, and I need that constant reassurance. Like when we did the love languages, my love language was I need reassurance. Like I need you to tell me every single day, like that you want to be with me, you love me. Like I need to be told that constantly because you
need the words of affirmation.
And then the next day I'm going to be like, you must hate me. Like you didn't even say anything to me. Like if you take a second to think about something before you say it to me, I immediately think, what did I do wrong? Like, why do you hate me now? Like that probably from my child, everything, we're all fucked up from our childhood. Which as a mom, can I just tell you, like every decision I make as a mom, I'm like, oh my God, are they going to end up as a serial killer because I did this or I did that?
I have those thoughts.
And I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
They're going to watch your movies and become serial killers.
And Drew, you're not a father yet, so you don't understand that concept.
You don't know that.
Oh, well.
He doesn't know that either.
I don't know that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm definitely not a father.
Out there.
I'm definitely not a father.
There's a little Drewski running around out there.
No, but
I
was the oldest of 6 siblings, and I did have to take on like the man of the house role. I was cooking dinner when I was like 11. If mom was sick, it's spaghetti. That's all I knew how to cook. But we made spaghetti.
But you did it.
We knew how to do our own laundry.
Yeah, my mom said I'm the only child that she was okay with like moving as far away as I did. Like she said you're the only one that could have done it. Like my siblings, I'm guarantee like the youngest is a senior in high school of my mom's kids, and neither one of them know how to boil water. It is what it is.
Dependent.
A little bit, yeah. Like they.
Do you think it was because when they were kids that your mom had the chance to actually like mother? Because you said she was very young when she had you, so she was still like, almost a kid herself.
Yeah, no, my mom was like a straight up mom with me. Like she had time. She had a lot of support. My grandparents watched me a lot. Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah,
right.
My mom was able to be a normal mom. Like my grandparents were there. Like they'd watch me if she needed, them to. It's just I don't know. I've always been kind of like weirdly advanced in some ways, and then weirdly unadvanced in other ways. And so like I understood the world a lot sooner than most kids did. And so I actually got my mom out of a abusive relationship with her second husband. He used to hit me, and then he started hitting his firstborn, like his actual son. And I went straight to the guidance counselor. I was like, "Hey, look at my brother's neck. There's bruises on it. Just like." And then I show up home after school, and there's a child services there, and my mom divorced that guy, and they moved out, and then I was officially like man of the house. I was, I mowed the grass, I cooked dinner when I had to, I watched them while she was still at work after school. Like it was like I was just how it was. So in some cases, I did have to grow up a little faster, but I was the only one capable of it.
That you're never the center of your own universe, huh?
I'm not.
It's the true statement.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because
Now I'm
everybody
learning.
is
I'm
put
actually
into your
learning.
universe.
Yeah, I'm learning now to be the center of my universe. Like now I go out of my way. It's like I want to do this. I don't give a fuck about anything else. I'm doing that. I go out of my way now to do that. And sometimes I'm selfish, and I'm okay with that.
And you got to be it's okay to be selfish. Yeah. Because sometimes it's about you, it's got to be about you. When you're always giving, helping somebody else or looking out for your kids or, or just taking care of your parents or whatever, and you're always out there trying to make sure everybody else is happy. Sometimes you got to take a time out in life and say, it's okay for me to be selfish.
Can't pour from an empty cup.
You're
Exactly.
right. And I a lot of times I would go at it like I knew that I could handle an inconvenience better than others. So if I could make it convenient for somebody else, I knew I could handle, the short straw, if you in simpler terms. And I think that's actually made me a better person.
I mean, I'm sure it has definitely played a role, but there's also a difference in like, okay, somebody who takes the short straw because they know they can handle it, and then somebody who takes the short straw because they think they can handle it, and then it's like, but look, everybody, I got the short straw.
Oh, like making them feel bad for themselves?
Not making them feel bad for them, but like making it like I look at me, like
look
I'm
how
doing
selfless
good.
I am. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, like I just know that nothing really. I don't get stressed out. Like I don't get upset about things. I just kind of
go with
it
the
is
flow.
what it is. It is what it is. Can't control everything. And that I'll let them have the blue fucking Sour Patch Kids. I'll eat the fucking lemon ones. I hate the lemon ones, but I'll eat them.
That's
the
nice
orange
of you,
ones.
Drew.
I do like the fucking blue ones.
The yellow ones are good too.
It's like the pink starbursts.
Hey, there's Patrick.
Patrick James checking
Patrick is
in
watching
on Facebook.
Hey, congrats to Patrick on that song you put out with that girl. I don't know if you guys saw how successful it was. Yeah, I don't know if you like in like one day.
We'll talk about it Wednesday night on the Roger the Wild Child show. So,
Shameless plug.
Yes, of course. It's called I Hate You. And it's funny, too, because I think he kind of used that as part of our theme
It's definitely our theme song. It's definitely our theme song.
I think that once we did the I Love the Rox theme song, he took that and used that into his own song. So,
like, well, since I was already here.
I love you. I hate you.
Yeah, he just kept half of it. No, he kept the whole thing.
Yeah, he did.
There's I love. Yeah.
It says I love you and I hate you.
I mean, he wrote it. So
love you too, Patrick.
But he loves us.
Love you, Patrick.
So yeah, no, that's awesome. So yeah, he came out with a new album, and so you guys got to check it all out. We'll talk more about it on Wednesday. Make sure you guys tune into Roger the Wild Child show because
he'll
Taylor
probably end
will
up
be on too.
He'll probably end up on Kick-Ass Country too.
It's already on Kick-Ass Country.
Ah, there you go. It's already on Kick-Ass Country.
People are like, "What's Kick-Ass Country?" It's my new country radio station that I launched. So yeah, there you go. So, but tonight we're talking about codependency. Yes.
I'm codependent on
so
Popeye's
does that
chicken
make
and Dr. Pepper.
a codependent clingy?
Yes, I was thinking about that.
Or is
like,
the clingy girlfriend or boyfriend codependent? Is it vice versa? Like, can you be one without the other?
Yeah, I think I was thinking about that actually before we started this. I was like, honestly, in simpler terms, it's just clingy. It comes off clingy, and I think it's more clingy to be the clingy girl. I think it's more codependent to be the clinger.
So would you say that all codependents are clingy, but not all clingers are codependent?
Yes.
I think there's situations of being codependent where there's no clinginess at all. But I think it's
like true.
Yeah, I think it's like all men are humans, but not all humans are men.
Yeah, it's like I feel like so. What I wanted to like really kind of drive home was that while like we were saying with narcissists, while everybody has narcissistic personalities, not everybody is a narcissist or has narcissistic personality disorder. I also want people to know, like, just because somebody's clingy does not mean that they are codependent. So Lydia, like you were saying, just because they're clingy doesn't mean that they're codependent. And just because they're codependent most codependents are clingy, however it went. But clinginess is seen as like almost like an indicator, but then you have to define what exactly is clinginess. Because is it
without that person?
Well, if you are in the caretaker role, is it still clingy?
If you're are you clingy and the caretaker, or are you saying like there's a caretaker and then there's the clinger?
No, she's saying as the codependent, they are the caretaker. So they have to be around that person all the time because they're taking care of them. So they're not being clingy.
They're not like taking every spare second.
They're being there because they have to take care of that person.
So I guess I've been seeing this opposite. I've been seeing the one that's codependent as the one who's depending on the caretaker. That's what I see as codependent. Like they can't be any like what they are right now.
That's just somebody who's dependent, or could also be referred to as a scrub. No, I'm kidding. So it's not a codependent. Isn't somebody who's just dependent on another person for basic needs, because then by definition, like all children would be codependent, and
I mean they are.
Well, in a certain degree, yeah, but they're kids.
They're putting on their
My
dad's
taxes
boots.
say that they are dependents.
Right.
Yeah.
They are dependent.
And
They
if
do
there's
not have
two of them,
personality disorder.
that's codependence.
Well, codependent personality disorder. So when it's affecting when it becomes your focus and it affects other aspects of your life, when it becomes a disorder.
Like when your
and then
dad
it's a
makes
mental
you
health
play
issue.
basketball even though you're like 5'0".
What are you saying about me being short? What?
No, I was talking. I said when your dad makes you play basketball even though you're 5'0".
Oh, I thought you were making a joke about me being 5'0". I'm
Are you
5'2".
5'0"?
Okay, on a good day.
Yeah, I'm 5'2". Damn it.
I
Okay.
can get up to 5'3" if I poof up my hair real big.
I'm not gonna talk shit about short people. I was short for the majority of my life.
She
so
does the
far.
80s hairspray in her hair. She could be 5'5".
Listen, God only lets things grow until they're perfect. Some of us
With the unicorn horn on, she's 5'4".
Yeah.
Listen, nobody lost me.
We were in that. We were in the red carpet event. I was like, "Where's Crystal?" I see the light, the
Seeing
glowing
across
horn.
the room.
Yeah, for those who are just watching or listening right now, on a few weeks ago back, we were all in Hollywood, and we were doing a red carpet for Halloween. We were doing a red carpet event for St. Jude's, which the whole organization raised over $30,000.
I didn't donate a dime.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, you did.
What? Oh, I did.
Yeah.
You did.
As love. As
Yeah, I got your Venmo. Thank you.
Oh shit! I thought that was for the Airbnb. My bad.
No, you did for the Airbnb, but you also sent me some money to go towards the donations.
Ah, shit! I thought I lost a bet.
Was I
No.
supposed to do that? Because I did not.
So
I didn't know it was a requirement.
we're just gonna
It
start
wasn't a
telling Drew he owes us
requirement.
money for things because apparently
Drew,
he frequently sends
yeah.
money.
My Venmo is just like Lydia
I lose a lot of-
Manson -1. So like
I lose a lot of
bet.
bet. Ergo my haircut. I lose a lot of fucking bets. Okay.
Every time
very
I'm coming
confident
up
when
to her,
I
I'm
bet
gonna be like, I'm just gonna tell Drew he owes me money.
Right?
Right?
We're just gonna start
like-
sending requests.
For what? What I do? It's our streaming
my
fee.
Yes. And you got to pay a hosting fee. Here we go.
Motherfuckers.
Oh, Drew.
Oh, but
Hey,
the costume. Oh my gosh. Crystal with the unicorn was the funniest thing.
Okay, so also, mind you, for anybody who's never actually met me, I am fairly short. So I usually get lost in crowds. I had a unicorn horn on that made me I was at least like, I don't know, 5'8", because heels, unicorn horn, and it lit up and changed colors. And I was very easy to spot everywhere I went.
We would be like, "Where's Chris? Oh, there she is!" Right there.
Like just look for the light up horn. Oh, there she is.
Yeah,
that has
there you go.
never in my life happened to me.
Look for the horny girl over there. Yeah.
Also, before picking my costume, I didn't learn until after I had already put together most of the pieces for my costume that it had another meaning that.
Oh yeah, a lot of people were hoping you were their unicorn.
It took me a minute to figure out why some people were being so creepy towards me.
You
Hey,
look like you
can
were
we buy
a
you a
regular at a
drink?
gay bar. Not you.
I mean,
Did you run into a lot of couples? In
do you remember we were at Rainbow Room and there was a group of people that was leaving and a guy left the group and came back to our table and was like,
Yes,
"Oh
I
my
remember
God,
that.
I was just like,
I remember 1/4 of Rainbow Room.
Yeah, I remember that too.
I remember taking IDs on the sidewalk. That's
yes.
what I remember.
Oh my gosh. I have Drew standing on in front of the Rainbow Bar and Grill on West Hollywood Boulevard. People are walking up, giving his ID. He checks their ID. They go and actually see the real bouncer and have to give their ID again.
I was like,
what
they
the
walked up.
heck?
I went, ID. And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I need
He's
to see your
wearing
ID.
his Top Gun with his sunglasses on, right? Acting so serious.
I need to see your ID.
I need to see
and people just like willingly handed over their
Yeah.
IDs, and I'm just like, oh my God, no,
I'm like-
oh my God, no.
I was like, it's a fake.
How many Wednesday Addams were there?
Not a ton.
None.
No,
I
none.
didn't see
I
any.
didn't see
I was
any.
disappointed.
I probably
I saw a
would've done that if
I saw a
got to go.
Ghostbuster. You should have
Yeah.
seen the Ghostbuster. The Ghostbuster had like a authentic costume. He had like the whole like gun and
Proton
everything.
pack.
Yeah, it was.
That shit was
actually badass.
expensive. Like at Spirit of Halloween,
Mhm.
you could buy a proton pack, and it was $160.
Mm-hmm.
That's
160. I just spent 320 on a lightsaber.
But this is the Spirit of Halloween one. I'm sure there's a more like deluxe one.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, in all
honestly, there
fairness,
weren't a lot of
Spirit of
people in
Halloween stores like the Walmart for costumes.
Yeah.
So there was not a lot of costumes there. Most people were just dressed up.
Mm-hmm.
There really wasn't that many costumes.
everybody was in costume.
No, they weren't. You're remembering it wrong. I was like, man, I'm walking around in a Top Gun outfit. There's just a dude in a suit and a chick in a dress. And
Well, I know. So my friend Darren was there promoting, shameless plug, promoting his film, The Emerald Forest. And it's just like a different take on the story of Oz. So like
Mhm.
he wore a blue gingham shirt and he had like red shoes on. But like he was there with people from his movie. So he was there with Lisa Wilcox and Danny Hassel from Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. But I didn't see costumes on any of them, like the posters they posted.
I feel like there was so many like cute Western wear costumes because
Well, that's because of the theme. Yeah.
what was the theme? There was a theme?
True.
There was a theme the whole time?
I gave you money. There was a theme.
Right?
What was the theme?
I was there more than you.
Yeah. It was a saddle up or a saddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Western theme.
Yeah.
It was a
like,
Western theme?
Yeah. It was.
Well, you should have gone as Western Barbie.
I would have gone as
There
Woody.
were so many of them.
I'm Malibu Barbie.
Malibu Barbie.
Oh, that's why I thought no one was in costume. They're just chicks dressed like basic bitches and calling themselves Barbie. That makes sense.
There was the pink fringe vest and the pink
Mhm.
bell bottom pants. Like there were so many Western Barbies, Western wear Barbies. I knew
would
that was
have
gonna be hot
loved to do the
costumes.
80s skating Barbie. That would have been fun.
How about the one with like the big crimped hair and like
Mhm.
the trippy 60s dress?
So many good Barbies.
I'm
I
gonna
collect
do,
Barbies, so I have a ton I could choose from.
I'm
I
doing
bet you
risky
Barbie was
business
never
next year.
codependent.
Oh, risky business.
I'm
I
doing
don't
risky
think Barbie
business next year.
was
You
codependent.
can do your boxers and just be like,
I'll do boxers with a big T-shirt and big, like,
sunglasses.
tall socks. Yeah.
yeah.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na.
Well, if we do go, I believe we should have a group costume. That's
Ah.
just my.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
Marky Mark and the
Alright.
Funky Bunch.
That's
I
all
agree.
Really
men.
good theme.
Theme. We go as a group theme.
We got 3 girls.
Yeah. Well, we got more than that.
Wait.
Yeah,
three
but
girls.
Drew's
no-
counting right
is there
now.
any girls in the Funky Bunch?
No, I'm trying to figure out groups with 3 girls. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea who the Funky Bunch is. I know who Marky Marky is. I don't know who the fuck the
We
Funky
could
Bunch
be
is.
Bob's Burgers.
No. No,
I
because I'm going to be stuck as Gene or something. All right.
Well, yeah, you would be.
Well,
I'm not gonna be Gene.
Megan would be Tina,
Oh yeah.
and you could be Louise. I dressed as Linda for a wedding like a couple of weeks ago, so
We could do Archer.
still fresh on my mind.
We could do Archer, which is the better Bob's Burgers.
Nothing is.
I
better
never
than
saw
Bob's
that show.
Burgers.
Archer?
Bob's Burgers.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so your homework from this episode is to watch Shameless see
And
the
Bob's Burgers.
to see the
And Archer.
codependency.
Okay.
But I will tell you what relationship is not codependent is
What's
Bob
that?
and Linda from Bob's Burgers. That is not a codependent relationship. That is a very healthy relationship.
It
Hey,
is.
Drew, do you and your roommate have a codependent relationship?
Probably.
Okay.
You know, and if you're talking about healthy relationships there, Lydia, ironically, one that keeps popping up that people keep mentioning or I keep reading things about because you kept asking if there was how many Wednesday Addams were there.
Oh my
and
God.
Morticia.
Yeah.
Super healthy relationship.
That literally that man worships that woman.
Oh, so
And I'm-
that's
and
what
I'm not-
makes a
And
perfect
I'm not saying that
Huh.
because she as well
That's
worships
codependency.
him. They, you know,
They were very forward thinking too,
yeah.
all things considered.
Well, considering it was started back in the 60s was the comic,
Yeah.
you know, so to have, you know, such a relationship like that back then, I think was a big deal.
Yeah. And she wasn't even necessarily seen in like the mothering type role either.
Yeah, because she doesn't have a job. She's a
Right.
stay-at-home mom.
Hmm.
What is
but
Mr.
that wasn't
Adams
her whole
do?
identity.
You don't really I don't know what
So none of
Gomez's
them
job
work.
is.
None of them
They
work.
have
They're collecting welfare. They're on food stamps.
no,
They
they're
have family
rich.
money.
They have family money. If
Family
you watch
money.
the first one when the fake Uncle
Privilege.
Fester comes, they
Mhm.
have lots of money.
That they do.
Inherited.
What's a
They're
what's
old
a
money.
what's a fiction codependent relationship? What show or movie shows a codependent relationship?
Okay, I'm gonna be really bad at that.
Anakin Skywalker and Padme.
Don't hate me, Drew. I don't know. I need to watch. I'm sorry.
That's before my time. That's on you.
Are you calling me
know,
old right now?
I'm going with Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Ooh.
Mm.
Wait,
Explain it.
As much as you don't want to say it, Golem and Frodo.
Oh, I thought you were going to say The Ring.
Well, no, I was actually going to say Saruman and Frodo at first.
Talking about Sauron?
Sauron, yes, I always confuse the two.
I didn't even watch
The
it.
Eye in the Sky, Sauron. I was going to say him and Frodo because Frodo I can't even say it. Like I'm so tired.
Voldemort and Harry Potter.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, they're literally the same. Like he has a soul in him.
He does.
So there's actually a rank of codependent characters.
Who's number one? Is it Voldemort?
Yeah,
and
who
Harry
is
Potter?
number one?
I don't see number one right now. I will keep looking, but some examples for you guys. Gretchen Wieners in Mean Girls.
Oh,
Codependent
Mm.
character.
so fetch.
Okay.
Did you
wanna
see the
talk
new
animation?
Walmart commercial with that?
I did see it. I did see it.
I didn't.
I've heard there's going to be a new Mean Girls movie, and I'm so excited.
They
I heard
already
that
started,
too.
They already started filming it. It was.
They
filmed
need to
in
stop
Jersey last
making
year.
sequels and remakes and start making new shit that's good. We're gonna have nothing to remember this generation by. I'm
I
sick of it.
agree, but at the same time, like, just let us be happy.
Last summer,
Shut up, Drew.
last summer, fucking Top Gun was number one movie, and Run Up
Then
That Hill
Maverick,
was the
yeah.
number one song. It's ridiculous.
I will say, because I come from like the independent film background, that there are a lot of amazing original stories that these indie directors are coming out with. And had they had the budget that these blockbusters have, I think some of them would be taking down the big movies that came out this year. Because they're original stories, you know, and they crowdfund, which you don't make a lot of money when you crowdfund. And so you have to work with what you got. And some of them do pretty amazing things on, a really short budget. So if they were given the same budget, I think that those original stories from these indie directors would do great.
Like Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Just like Spaceballs.
That's like Mel Brooks, though. He's got money.
Well, if you're asking who the number one is, I did
Who
find
is
it.
it? I need to know.
Is it
I need to
Voldemort and
know.
Harry?
So I have to
Romeo
look
and Juliet.
what the breakdown was for how they determined it. I do have that. So Gretchen Wieners came in 4th. I've never watched this series, so I can't really say, but coming in at number 1 is Gary Walsh on Veep.
I never watched it.
I never
I've
watched
never
it.
watched it either. Buster Bluth from Arrested Development is number 2.
Oh yeah,
watch
he
it.
relies on his mom. Yeah, he's like his like catchphrase is "mother." Yeah,
Number
he's like a
3,
man-child.
I don't know. They're from Succession. Tom something with a W. I'm totally gonna screw it up, and I don't want to. But you guys will never guess who number 5 is. It's an animated character.
Was it Nemo?
No, he was very independent.
Was
He
it
touched the
Dory?
He touched the butt.
True.
Ready? You guys
Yes.
ready?
Yeah.
Millhouse.
Oh, with
Oh.
Lisa. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to
So
look
he-
at the breakdown of how they determine this, and like, because there is an actual scale. Like, I found the link to how they broke it down and how they made the scores. But yeah, Millhouse came in at number 5.
I would say Forrest Gump to Jenny.
A
Let me
Jenny.
see.
Good eye.
course you would say that,
Smithers.
too.
Peppers.
Smithers is on there too, guys.
Smithers
Smithers
from The Simpsons.
Yeah, he came in
Yeah,
at number 11.
I mean,
Oh
he was,
yeah, with Mr.
Oh.
Burns.
It's a
So
very codependent relationship.
does that make Alfred on the list?
No, Alfred's a badass. He's super independent. He's doing that because he loves the Waynes and he raised Batman. That's no, that's
Yeah,
He's not-
I'm not seeing
he's
him
not
on here.
codependent.
Oh,
He
he's
would be
not on the
fine.
list?
If Batman had died, also Alfred would be fine.
I'm trying to see
He's
here
jobless.
some other
Yeah,
ones if you
that
guys.
too.
He's some other rich kid's butler.
So Karen Smith from Mean Girls also falls on here. Obviously, Gretchen Wieners is higher.
There's a 30% chance that it's already raining.
Scooby and Shaggy.
They're very dependent on each other.
Morty from Rick and Morty. is on
Yeah,
the list.
yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh
He
yeah.
comes in at
So-
number 20.
So what I'm getting is it's not necessarily women that are the codependent person. It's the betas. It's like the people who are.
That's what
you know,
Crystal's been trying to say for the
Yeah.
last 52 minutes.
And
The
you just
betas.
figured it out?
Yeah,
Okay.
Tell me you don't listen to me. Tell me
it's
you
the
didn't read the
betas.
info sheet.
It's the
without
little
telling me.
bitches. It's the little bitches that are the fucking codependent.
So Drew,
Yeah.
women get accused of being codependent more when in reality it's just the social structure of gender roles that has pushed them into that.
So
That
you're
arena
saying
when really
because
they're not.
men are seen as the leader in a relationship, that's why they're not seen as codependent.
No, it's because women are expected to take on caretaker roles, which is one of the factors that isn't necessarily considered in the screeners for codependent personality disorder.
Mm.
That, like, society just kind of like force women to be like, okay, this is your role. So then when we
Mm-hmm.
fulfill it, then it's what was the word I said I had to say today, Roger? Pathologizes. It pathologizes.
Mm.
It pathologizes the caretaker role when that's not really fair to do.
It's the little weak bitch in the relationship. That's the codependent. That's what I'm getting from this.
Oh,
Which could be male or female.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because if
Morty made it click.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it equates with weak or strong because, I mean, think about like the type of stamina it takes to stick with and take care of an addict. And a lot of times partners or family members of addicts are codependent.
I
the
still
addict.
think it's a type of weakness.
I say, look, like looking at like BDSM relationships, the doms and the submissives.
I can see
Yeah.
that. Yeah, definitely.
The submissives are the weak little bitches. That lines up. That
But
lines
their whole entire personality doesn't depend on being submissive.
up.
Some of
Well,
them
actually, in those relationships, though, actually, the submissive is normally in real life the boss of something, and they
Yeah.
get tired of having
lot-
control
do.
constantly.
That
so
is
they
a
like
big
being-
misconception because you think, oh, the dom is in control, but really, if
Mhm.
the submissive does not give them permission to do those things, they can't. So really, the sub does hold all the power, but they're dependent on the dom fulfilling their needs of submissiveness.
Hmm.
Well, if you want to talk independence, so just like there's that codependent list that's ranked, there is a
Yeah.
dependence list, and I
Who's
just
the
have
most
to.
Independent.
Yeah, the most independent characters ranked. And I have to mention it because one of my all-time favorite characters is listed at number 1.
Oh,
That means
Uh-oh.
I haven't heard. That means I haven't heard of them.
Is it Pepper Ann? Pepper Ann, much
It is
It's
not.
Barbie.
grade.
It's Barbie.
It's actually not Barbie. Though I don't know if the new Barbie came out when this was all put together.
Barbie has always been the alpha in that Barbie Ken relationship since the toys came out.
Yeah,
Ken's totally codependent.
he is. He was made for Barbie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
He has no
Codependent.
sold by-
other
and she sold
role
by
in
herself.
life.
And she sold by herself.
But he can be enough.
That's why he's saying like there's no Ken without Barbie. That's codependence.
But
right
there's
there.
Barbie without Ken. Yeah. All right.
yeah.
But the number 1 independent character goes out to my girl, Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. My all-time
I never
favorite.
watched it.
Yeah, she's the girl that the minute she turned 18, they made her get naked on screen.
Oh,
I mean, it was an HBO show, so
Yeah, but that's weird as fuck. Like she was a child when she
weird.
started that show, and the
I
director's
could
like,
watch
"Oh,
that.
you're
I was like-
18? Nude scene." That's fucking.
it
that's
was
fucking
2
creepy.
characters that I was just like, no, like I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But she is listed as number 1 as far as independent characters go. So I like to see a girl on top there, especially when Drew was like, "Oh, so it's
A
not
girl
just
on
the
top?
women."
I never
there's
said
I
it
one
was
think a
there.
just
lot
the
of us
women.
do.
Ron Swanson is number 2.
Yeah, Ron
Shirley Schmitz
Swanson.
from Boston Legals 3. Mulan is number 4.
Ooh, Mulan, that is a
Ooh.
good one.
Oh, what
Um,
about Beatrix Kiddo
the what?
from
Huh?
Kill Bill?
Oh,
See, I need to make this list. I need to remake this list. Beatrix Kiddo's a fucking pimp. Like she's got to be up there.
here's
Yeah.
the Kat Stratford from 10 Things I Hate About You is the number 9
Ooh.
on Independence. Let's see, Geralt.
But she has
From-
black underwear, so that means.
Ah,
she
you
can
talking?
have
You
sex
talking
with
about
him.
Henry Cavill now? You talking about The Witcher?
Yep.
Mhm.
Geralt is on there at number 13. Lucky number 13. Sandy Cheeks comes in at number 14.
Oh fuck yeah, she's definitely.
Sandy
but
Cheeks.
just-
Oh my
she
God.
built a life
Okay.
underwater.
So Patrick,
Connect
codependent.
the dots, Lydia. Connect the dots.
No, I think
Codependent?
SpongeBob's more codependent.
No,
You are
it's
codependent.
Patrick.
No, his entire identity is tied to his job. He has to he's obsessed with the fucking Krusty Krab.
But that
And
doesn't
he-
mean that somebody can't be a codependent to him.
Patrick has gone off on his own all the time.
Patrick is his best friend.
Yeah.
Okay, just because you have a best friend doesn't mean they're dependent on you.
He lives right next door. He's under a rock.
I
Yeah.
would live next door to my best friend any day. That's awesome. That's house parties
Under
all
a
the time.
rock.
Under a rock.
He's a starfish. His
I'm
house
just
is fucking
saying.
cozy. His house is cozy.
He has a sand couch
He's a starfish.
and a sand TV. He can't
He's
even
a
watch TV.
starfish. He's a fucking starfish.
And lives under a rock.
That's what they do.
Lives under a rock. So
Yes.
I think Patrick might be a little codependent because literally he does nothing until SpongeBob comes around.
Yeah.
There's no story for him.
But
does,
he's content until that moment. He's fine.
yeah, but that's a problem.
Yeah.
No.
That's the
It's
problem.
saying that he's doing nothing and he's happy, and then SpongeBob shows up and asks him to do something. He's like also happy doing that. That's not codependency. That's just go with the flow.
All right.
What
And
is
now
this
the other
about?
another 2 guys that are codependent would be Cheech and Chong.
But would they just be think
Tommy
they're
Chong
just-
was on multiple episodes of that 70s show without Cheech.
Okay, so would it be Cheech that was more dependent on Chong?
Looks like it.
I don't
He
think
sucked on
that
The
they
Masked Singer.
are. While they may be dependent on each other, they are not codependent
Yeah.
with
Well,
each other.
What about Wayne's World?
There is a difference. We've defined this.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's
Beavis
World.
and Butthead.
They are
Yeah, there you go.
dependent. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That is a good one, actually. I miss
Mhm.
when they were on TV. And actually, here's one
They
for you,
have a
Drew.
new season.
What?
There's a new season of Beavis and Butthead.
They made a
Yeah,
new
watch
movie.
Did
They
they?
did? I'm
Yeah,
so
they
out of
talk-
the loop.
It's so funny. There's this whole skit where they find out about white privilege. Like they take like this college course, and they're like, "What's white privilege?" And they go,
You do that voice
well-
a little too well.
and he goes,
You've clearly
go, well,
practiced.
white privilege is when white people get benefits because of their race, or like whatever. And he goes, "We have white privilege," and teacher goes, "Yes." So now that you know this, are you going to be living your life a little bit differently? And he goes, I guarantee it. And then they like start busting into a cafeteria, stealing people's shit, and they go, "It's okay. We have white privilege. I didn't know about it either.
I didn't know about it either.
I didn't know.
God.
I didn't know."
Well, Drew, this one is for you because while I'm still looking at the list of independent characters, there is a Star Wars character on there.
Oh, can I guess? Can I
Yoda.
guess? Can I 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 guess?
Guess.
I'm gonna guess that it is Padme.
Yoda.
No,
Yoda.
fucking. Yeah, he probably is. Yeah, he probably is.
He's
Yeah,
the most
but that's
independent
just
soul.
taking into account that he stranded himself on a swamp planet by himself for like 10 years.
I mean,
More
that's
than
pretty
that.
independent to
Independent.
me.
No, actually, it really. Well, yeah, you're right. No, it was like 18 years. 18 years. Yeah, Luke was 18, and he went to Dagobah when Luke was born. The day that Luke was born.
I would like to go strand myself on an island for 18 years.
Yeah.
Like how do we make that happen? Okay.
Padme was pretty goddamn independent, though.
See, I gotta look and see what they use to determine
Yeah, what is the scale?
scores.
What are the factors to get you
Yeah,
there?
but then again, she was severely attached to Anakin. Yeah, she actually ruined her political career for that shit and died for that shit. Yeah.
Sad.
Well,
She's
what about
bad.
Luke and Leia?
They didn't even know each other existed until they were adults.
And then he kissed her, and then they're brother and sister.
Yeah. It was awkward.
Mm-mm.
You know, Star Wars and Harry Potter are the same story.
Yes,
Yeah, the
I've
exact
heard
same
this.
story. Yeah, the exact same story.
I'm a Harry
Star Wars
Potter
came out
fan,
first.
You know this.
J.K.
And-
Rowling, rip off.
Yeah,
In a good
we're
way.
a fan of the movies now.
Everyone has their own wand.
Independent, Katniss Everdeen.
True.
That's
That
a
is a
good
very-
one. And codependent, PETA.
I don't know. I don't think Peto is codependent.
I don't think he's codependent because he was
He
so
literally
smart to
molded-
save their lives.
No, he
Mhm.
molded to their relationship to please the government. Became a
No,
yeah,
little
that
I
was
different
to
think-
save
person.
his life.
His entire personality was their relationship.
I think
Because this
PETA
is his
always
life.
had feelings.
No, he
for
was in love with.
Katniss.
No, he was in love with her. He loved that shit. He ate that shit up.
Yeah, but he did also try to kill her at one point.
He was brainwashed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he was brainwashed.
Yeah. See, sorry.
even though he was brainwashed, I still don't think he qualifies as codependent because he had a whole life outside of her. Like they didn't even
Not
like,
really.
even though they lived
Baker.
across from each other,
Yeah.
they didn't even see each other.
No, he looked at her all. He's like, I'll
Yeah,
make you some
I
bread.
think he had feelings for Katniss before they went into the
Fuck
ring.
it, dude. He
did.
he orchestrated that shit. That was
He
needs
burned the
Katniss.
bread on purpose
Yep.
to send out to her.
He little
He
fucking simp.
remembered her from the first day of school singing some song.
Okay, but just being obsessed with somebody does not qualify.
Peter
as codependent.
Parker and fucking
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane. The Toby one. He's
Yeah.
the oh my god.
That's my
Like,
favorite Spider-Man.
mine
Yeah.
too, but his line delivery in that movie when he's around Mary Jane is the cringiest shit on earth. Like
Superman and Lois Lane.
But that's
oh.
Spider-Man
There really
did give
wouldn't
us
be
the
much
upside down
Lois Lane
kiss.
without Superman.
Mhm. Huh? What?
That's true. That
He said,
Spider-Man did give
"Oh,
us the
boy,
famous
yeah."
upside down kiss.
Yeah, but they would have done that eventually anyway. And also, Mary Jane cheated in every single Spider-Man movie that she was in. Every single one.
Every single one.
Really?
Yeah, so she's dating Harry, kissed Spider-Man when he
Oh,
was upside
yeah.
down. In the second one, she ditched her wedding to go be with Peter. And in the third one, she cheats on Peter with Harry. She is a fucking... I hate Kirsten Dunst.
She's a
Mary
hoe.
Jane. Yeah, she's for the streets, dog. Like, everyone loves Spider-Man finally, and she's all mad because she got fired because she sucks at acting. Fuck that bitch.
I love how angry he's getting over fictional
know, right?
characters.
It goes Jenny from Forrest Gump, fucking Mary Jane from Spider-Man, right?
We need to
fucking
do an episode on
movie
fictional
romances.
movie love romances.
Yeah. Which ones are
Nice.
good and something that you should aspire to be, and which ones you should not try to be.
All right, I'm gonna make a note on this one.
All right.
Write that down.
Oh, dude, this is gonna be the one I'm most into. I'm coming with the notes this time.
You're coming with the notes. You didn't even read the ones I gave you.
You sent notes?
I was reading them.
Oh my God, they were in the chat.
Oh shit.
That's why
You
we
sent
have
notes?
the chat.
I sent money. What was the other thing today, Drew?
There's a theme.
There was a theme. Oh, Drew's just
Oh,
along for
Drew.
the ride. Like
Yeah,
That's
he
what I
is.
said. I'm never stressed. I'm just rolling with it.
He's
Hey,
like, I'm
Drew.
just scared.
When we're done here, I need you to send me $200.
Right.
What?
Start sending random Venmo requests.
It's not important what it's for.
I'm
Just do
gonna
it.
catch on eventually. You better watch out. You guys might get a couple grand from me, but eventually I'll be like, wait a minute.
But we'll
It's
get
gonna
the
be
couple
game, like,
grand
how much can we
first.
get out of Drew? Don't worry, we'll save it and give it all back to you. We're just gonna see how long it takes you to
Yeah.
realize.
I
You
won't
got-
send
you-
it back. You send me
No,
money.
I'm gonna
it's
keep it.
mine.
What are you talking about?
I'm
was a
deleting my
gift.
Venmo and my
All
cash app.
right, guys. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight on Loving the Rocks. And the thing is each week we have another great, exciting topic. You just don't know what we're going to come up with, or when we're in the middle of a show, things just randomly just kind of pop out, like we're talking about movies, and
Yeah, but we brought it back. We brought it all back.
we did bring it back. You just don't know what's going to happen in the conversation. The show's totally not scripted. So you
As
just
you can
never
tell by
know.
the hand that was just in front of my camera.
Yeah. I
I didn't plan anything.
no.
We know, Drew.
Yeah,
We know.
we do. We know.
I had that my 600-pound life in my back pocket the last couple of days.
I was
She's like,
like,
I'm going to
hey.
use
She's like,
that
I've been
card on the
waiting.
show. Yeah.
I was like, I can talk about anything. I'll figure out something to say.
See, Lydia read my notes and was like, all right, I'm gonna find things to compare. And Drew's like, what? There was notes?
there's notes.
And then in the meantime, everybody's watching like, wow, Crystal's such a nerd and actually made notes.
I speak from the heart. I didn't even know what we were talking about until yesterday.
Well,
There's
Like
a
what?
group chat for a reason.
exactly.
I got listen.
Well,
I have a lot-
listen, my phone got stolen. I lost my phone.
No. I lost it in the Uber.
No, I
This
just
is a
missed it. I
story.
lost it in the Uber.
Huh?
Yeah.
This is how I lost in the Uber. I went to karaoke. And then
What were you doing at karaoke, Drew?
fucking singing. What else? Okay. I was
Anything
singing. And a lot of drinking. And no, so it started at a sushi place where we drank a ton of sake. Then we did a shot at another bar. Then we went to karaoke and we drank way too much. And I remember calling the Uber. I remember there was a couple of girls with us, and they had called an Uber, and I texted my Uber, "Hey, can you hang on for a second? I want to wait until their Uber gets here before I get in the Uber because I want to make sure they were okay." And he did. And I get in the Uber, and I wake up the next morning with no phone.
Did you get it back?
I did. When I bought my new phone, I found the Uber driver by signing into Uber, and I was like, "Yo, why'd you turn off my phone so I couldn't track it?" She was like, "So you wouldn't know where I live?" And I was like, "You know where I live? That's bullshit."
Facts.
I
Yeah.
did the same thing when I was
Yeah.
an Uber driver. I would turn off the phone. Apparently, I turned off the phone, but with the new iPhones, okay, it automatically can still track when it's powered off.
It
It's-
tracks where it last was.
And so, no,
There's also a setting where you can track it while it's off.
Yes.
Really?
So I'm
Motherfucker went
sitting
on.
here. I'm hearing a banging on my door at like 8:00 in my morning, and my kids are like, "Dad, somebody's
His
at
morning.
our door." I'm like, banging, and they won't leave. And finally, I open up the door and like, can I have my phone, please? I'm like, how the hell did you know where I lived? I turned your phone off.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
I was like, hey, I need that shit back. And so we met at a Starbucks. I got it back. Now I have a backup phone, but I needed a new phone. I was due for an
Burner
upgrade
phone.
anyway.
That would be a
Yeah.
burner phone. He has one now.
I got 2 phones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Use one of them to read the notes I send you.
Yes.
Facts.
I'm going to be honest with you.
So now you have 2 phones
I
that
am
could have
not
been
Going to do
used
homework.
for research.
Yes. There you go.
I'm going to bring meaningful conversation to this podcast, and I'm not going to read a single goddamn note that you guys say. It's my superpower.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us this week for Love on the Rocks. We will be back next week. New topic. Who knows what it will be? We'll find out. But,
I won't know till Monday next week.
Yeah, you won't know. You'll be like, oh, hey,
We will find out
showtime.
10
What are we
minutes
talking
before.
about today?
Getting on and when he introduces the podcast. Shit, I better come up with something.
All righty, guys. You have yourself a great night. Thank you for watching. And make sure you share us and make sure you restream all the episodes that we have on all the podcast platforms, wherever you get a podcast. All right, guys. Have a great night.
Peace.